garden family. I'm out here with my makeshift like garden toolbox and my little compost bin, and Alora is down here, and it's just pretty much, well, my tomato plant has now fallen over. I've just now noticed this. It's pretty much like a cleanup day, which that's one of my tasks today, is to actually like repot the tomato plant. It is entirely too big for the tiny pot I put it in. Can't tell. It is very windy out here. But yeah, so I have to repot that. The Santa Fe Grande hot pepper has officially like, it's no more flowers, no more like veggies or anything. So I'm gonna take that out, try to compost most of the leaves. I don't know if they'll all fit in my little tiny bin here. This is like an old protein shake container, and I just like put like garlic shells and like the skin off the garlic because I cook with fresh garlic. Newspaper. I feel like I put something else in there. I also put coffee grounds. So like once we make our coffee, because we use the French press, I'll like wait for it to sit a little bit so it's not super wet, and then I'll pour what I can in here. But I make sure to put newspaper because I've used wet coffee grounds in the past, but the problem is that a lot of times if I'm not storing this as frequently as I need to be, it'll get moldy and then I have to trash the whole thing. So I hopefully I have a few more protein shake containers like in the apartment, so hopefully we can use those and I can continue to make compost so that when we move, everybody has compost to take with them if they want to, grow plants wherever they decide to live. But yeah, so today is mostly like a cleanup day. It's my birthday weekend, so I'm not, by the time you watch this video it will have passed, but I'm not like with mom or anything. She's still at the house, but I know there's a few things that she's doing as well. But I also have to again pick the basil because it continues to flower as I continue to pinch it off, naturally so. I just didn't think it would flower so fast. So I dried out the last batch. One batch I used to make pesto. I think this batch that I'm about to like cut and like do, because the actual basil flowers are edible, I'm gonna hopefully I will make basil again today, so that I can freeze it, so that when I come back from my vacation, like it's easy, like I can pop the keys out of the freezer and like be done with it. So gonna do that. So it's just like minor cleanup. I also have to get rid of the collard greens. They are not doing well. They keep getting moldy. Like they are not, like I planted some new seeds, so like my old collard greens are the ones that I'm getting rid of. The new ones are like, I'm so happy here, and so they keep going towards the sun, so I probably just need to flip that container. But other than that, like the greens are not doing great right now. But I think it's mostly just has been like the constant heat, and then like how wet the soil has been. It just bad plan. I might repot some of the lemon trees because they're starting to get taller, and I want them to continue to grow, and I probably will have to move them inside in the winter, so I'm going to try to put them in a bigger pot that's like easy to put up high so the cats can't get to it, because they will try. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and let's get started. Okay, so we're officially staring at the basil. As you can see, this one needs to be repotted. Like it's kind of blurry, but it's in this smaller pot and it's already shot up about as tall as the one in the huge pot, so I need to fix that. But we have our little, what do you call these? Like a mesh bag. I got these from Trader Joe's. They come in like a 3-pack and they're relatively inexpensive. So keeping your fruits, your veggies, anything like that, and especially if you have herbs that you're growing, this is the easiest way to like pluck them, pinch them, whatever, cut them, however you're going to do it, and then like take it in the house, clean it, and then lay the, like after they've been cleaned, lay them on top of this. If you don't have a dry mat, you can also use paper towels, of course, or like anything like that, or a cutting board. But as long as they like have time to dry, and then I usually just stick them back in the bag. You're probably like, but that's not as clean. A little dirt will not kill you, but also, like this is not severely dirty because it's high up in the apartment garden, so I'm not concerned about that. So hopefully my phone won't fall while I'm trying to do this. But the goal is to make pesto, so I'm going to cut these pretty far down. The flower's like up here. In the middle, you'll start to see them. They usually are a different color. They're usually like purple when they start to try to bloom. So it's just a matter of like pinching it off in the center if you're not really trying to make pesto like I am. And that's pretty much it. I usually don't use scissors, but because I'm cutting off so much, I was like, I can just use some scissors. It's fine. It'll be fine. And I right, Laura. She likes to come out here when I'm out here, and I'm trying to mostly cut the same types of flowers, but there's like 3 different types of basil in here, so I have to like be wary of what I'm cutting, and apparently a lot of this is doing whatever it wants, so that's fun. So I'm going to continue to cut this. And yes, I'm cutting them down pretty far, but honestly, there's so much basil and it continues to grow, so I'm not that concerned. And if I freeze it, then of course I can use it for a very long time. Even if you could even freeze it in olive oil or whatever kind of oil you use to cook, and just like put the leaves in there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like if you do that, then when you cook, you can just pop that in and then cook. It's really nice, but my goal again is to make pesto, because I made it the first time to make my scallop. It was like scallop pesto pasta, and y'all, it was so good, and I was like, we gotta do this again, but I gotta make more pesto, because I ended up using, I tried to freeze everything, and I put way too much oil, but I tried to freeze everything, and then I realized I did not have enough pesto. Like, I thought it would make so much more. I was wrong. I was wrong. Let's see. Are you flouring? You are not, but I don't trust you to not, so we're just gonna whoop. And you'll see it, it's gonna look like a really full bag. By the time I clean it and put it out, it's going to look like nothing. So, you know, that's fun. I don't mind that it's like 3 different types of basil in my pesto. I actually think that like makes the flavor a little bit more complex. I enjoy it a little more, so I'm not mad at that at all. And if you hear Laura cry behind me, it's literally because she hates when I do this. She hates when I prune the plants. It's like, I don't know if they, like, you know, you have the little monitors for plants that you put in their, like, in their dirt to see like what kind of music they make. I swear she can hear them singing or crying or something, but she gets so upset. And I'm like, I'm so sorry you're so sensitive to this. I'm not trying to make you, I don't want you to have to deal with this, but I also need pesto. Like, let me have this. So let's see. They're not all fine, but I just say I'm gonna cut what I want so I can make fresh pesto. If my mom watches this, she's gonna be like, oh, where's my pesto? I already know that's coming. So mom, if you're watching this, when the season is getting ready to end and I know I need to pick all the best pesto, you probably get some. Or I'll probably just, I don't know, bring it, I don't know. There's so many options here, and I can make it and just bring it over one day. It is not that hard to make. So, yeah, I think for the most part, that is, oh, I just off too. It has not fired, but I'm not taking any chances, y'all. And then every time I think I've picked them all, there's like another flower, and I'm like, dude, I need you to chill. I don't know what's going on, but I just need you to chill just a little bit. So, well, there's one of the flowers. And the ends, these are just flowers, so I'm just going to clip that off so that it can continue to grow and produce more leaves. And it smells divine, so I can't wait to wash that. I would like to show you my washing process. I do use Trader Joe's fruit and veggie wash to just a little bit of it to clean these. So, and that's non-toxic. It's not gonna hurt you or the plants or the flavor profile. So I will show you that later. Okay, so what we are looking at now is my Santa Fe hot pepper. It has not. There are no more veggies. There are no more flowers, it's like, okay, that was enough of that. I'm done. So what I'm going to do is dig this out, and I'm actually going to clip all the leaves off and try to compost them. So I'll show you that process now. I just wanted you to have a nice little calming shot of where windy out here. I have to hold this down with the actual compost bin while I dig the Santa Fe hot pepper out with my gloved hands. So I was gonna do it with no gloves, and if you see the microphone cord hanging, mind your business. But yeah, I was gonna do this with my hands, and then I was like, I do not know how deep these roots are, and it'll be my luck that like it'll be super far, which I am feeling it, and it is. So I'm like, might as well use my gloves and the shovel, because I was just gonna pull, but okay. The best part is all this dirt on the bottom I'm gonna throw in this tiny little compost bin, and yeah. So if you can hear that, that's me pulling at the roots of this plant. So, and this tarp again is from Amazon. I'm gonna try to get you the link if you want it. But yeah, I could. Am I being lazy? Yes, I am. It got some dirt in there. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and chop some of this in there. These are just roots and stuff. I doubt it's going to like, go in this pot, but you never know. So if I ended up with another Santa Fe hot pepper, I am not gonna complain. But it actually is like really tasty. Adds just a little bit of kick to my to our taco nights. So I'm gonna go ahead and boop. And if you're like, well, you're in an apartment, how do you you can't throw yours stuff back in the dirt? I mean, you can throw it in pots, but then you're worried about like, is that going well? Are my pots gonna get mad at me? I have like a old pot over here that I usually just throw everything in, and if it decides to compost down, that would be great. But if it doesn't, I'm not gonna like hold it there. So usually I just tear these with my hands, but in an effort to not make you watch me do a lot of this. And that's all you do. And I have written like what you're supposed to put in your compost bin for everyone in the household who wants to help me or like add stuff to it. Do not put any meat, eggs, dairy, none of that. If you have eggshells, I will show you something later that like you can do with them. If you watched any of my past videos, you've probably seen me when I was out here and I poured egg water into some of the plants. You're gonna be like, egg water? It's actually eggshell water. And then I actually end up baking those and turning them into calcium powder. Again, I'll probably make a video this winter about that, but so you can put shredded paper in there, coffee grounds, veggie and fruit scraps. Highly recommend if you put coffee grounds in there, to put shredded paper on top or underneath it before you put the coffee grounds in there so it doesn't get moldy, and then you have to make sure you turn them. And then I also wrote like check every Sunday, so basically just making sure that you turn this or do whatever you have to do to stir it. These are a little bit harder because they're so small, but this is proof that you can have compost bins, and you technically do not have to buy the ones online. You can do makeshift ones. You do have to find some way to make a hole in the top of like your protein shake canister or anything like that, but it is fairly easy, and I've had success with at least one of them. Again, the coffee grounds completely betrayed me each time, so I don't know why I kept doing that, but I figured out the method now, so we're good. See, I'm not gonna make you watch me do the rest of this, but next is gotta get rid of those collard greens, and that makes me so sad because I wanted to eat those this year. Better luck next year, right? So I don't know if you can tell because it's kind of bright, but there is mold that keeps happening, and if I like brush this off, you'd be able to, can you see it? Like it kind of like completely changes the color. I don't know why it's doing that, so I'm going to get rid of this. I do have them. I did start some seeds like later in September, in the bigger pot with the mustard greens. I'm probably going to take the mustard greens out and just do the collards and see how they do over the next like month or so, in the hopes that like we'll have collards that we won't have to go buy for this holiday season. We do like to cook them, and I know you know I'm plant-based, but there is a way to make them where they're plant-based and they still kind of taste like what your mama makes. So for the most part, like honestly, like we use like liquid smoke and a few other things, and we always get like really like high, like why does this taste so good? It's not real meat. This doesn't make sense. But there's a lot of tricks you can do to make it taste just right. So I'm trying to, I guess, till the soil a little bit so that like when I put the tomato plant in here, the tomato plant is not doing the same thing that the collard greens were. So there were also like these wasps that kept getting in this pot, which I think is part of the reason that kept happening, is because like I would water this so much and then like leave it because I was trying to murder the wasp with water. It's fine. Do not like wasps at all. You can't tell. And my little tomato is dry. It needs a bigger home. I don't even know how to show you how big this thing has gotten. It's severely too big for the pot. So we're going to go ahead and just move it over. Oops. It has 2 plant stands in it right now because that's how this is going. It's so strongly, I have never noticed how strong the smell of tomato is, like from the actual plant itself, until I started planting the ones. So this is actually a propagated, it snapped off and I was able to propagate, which I did not know you could do, this tomato plant. So it's actually from the original plant that I have over there. And this is not giving the full scope of how big this thing is, so I'm going to zoom out and show you better after I plant it. But it has like 2 plant stands in it right now because it's gotten ridiculous. And I need to live and give me tomatoes because I'm tired. I want my tomatoes before the season ends, like, please. That's all that I ask for. Give me my tomatoes. But yeah, I'm gonna have to move the plant stands in here because they're attached to each other right now, which I don't need. These plant stands are relatively cheap, but I have this other set of lovely tomato. I don't know what it's doing. Honestly, I might be able to cut that off if there are no flowers. I'm doing a quick check to make sure there are no flowers before I say that, but then I might not need this extra plant stand if that's the case. So, and that would be ideal for everybody because this thing is like ginormous. It's annoying how big it is. I'm like, that's great if you would give me flowers, but you're not right now, so cutting you off. You can't really see what I'm doing. You just see the plant moving and probably fighting for its life. It's like, how dare you? And this one has baby flowers on it, so I'm not going to cut this one, but I should probably. So like at the very tippy top, it's trying to branch off in so many different directions. There's some flowers on this one, so I'm cutting this back a little bit, so hopefully it'll. And there are flowers on this like very end of it, so I'm hoping if I cut all this extra stuff off, I'll be able to focus on the plant and like actually give me some freaking tomatoes because the girl is tired. I just want tomatoes. Yeah, that should be okay. It's gonna look spindly right now because again I like chopped it all up. But I'll get a better image of you once I move some things around because the spot needs to go in. There's just too much going on over there. What you're looking at right now is this big old thing right here is the tomato plant. So I have to, it has flowers on it right now. So what I'm doing is trying to shift everything over just a tad bit. I was looking for this black pot earlier. It was beside my fiddle. We're not going to talk about that. But yeah, so I'm gonna move some things around a little bit and hopefully give the lemon trees a better spot to grow in. Ugh, this is a heavy pot. This is a very heavy pot. in the hopes that the lemon trees will go here, or I might move them back some so they get more sunshine. But yeah, so I'm gonna shift everything basically to the, without killing anything, basically to the left, because I have some spots over here, and like these are a bunch of like old plants, so sorry for being in the way for a second while I shift everything so this tomato plant can fit. This thing is massive. Like, I don't think you fully get how big this thing is until you see me move it. I know you can probably see it like wiggling. Yeah, this thing is, oh, this thing is, it's pretty big. So I'm gonna try to turn it. Sorry, Basil, you're gonna hate me for a second because your friend Tomato over here has to do. There we go. And now it's attacking the avocado tree. So everything is a slight shimmy, shimmy, shimmy over, and a turn. I was trying to get more leaves on this side of the avocado tree, but it's fine. There we go. So I probably still shifting the avocado tree because it has more leaves on one side, so I'm trying to even it out. But it's still growing. And I thought my other avocado tree was like just dead, like it wasn't doing anything. I checked it today. I am incorrect. It is very much alive. I think it needs more sunshine, but yeah, it's alive and its roots are deep. And I'm like, oh, so you're just playing me at this point? The answer is yes. It very much is. So I'm trying to shift everything just enough so that it's not attacking. But I really need you to not attack this avocado tree, ma'am, sir, however you identify. Can you not? I don't actually think there are any flowers on that, so I might just be able to cut that off so that I don't have to deal or snap it off. That was not a clean snap. Don't judge me. And we're actually going to probably put some calcium powder in here and mix it around when I'm about to water. But yeah, so trying to attempt to move everything over as much as possible. I don't know that it'll all work, but you never know. And then that way, like, avocado trees are growing, my tomatoes have some time left to decide what they want to do with their lives. We're going to go ahead and put that there. And that is not it, because I still have to do the collard greens, so this should be fun. So yeah, so gotta get rid of all of the mustards, clean this up a little bit. And I know I can grow mustards and they do really well, so I'll just know to put them in, because this, like, you really don't need a whole lot of seeds for this area. And so it's like, I overdid it. And the peat pots were like, yeah, you did, but it's fine. So the biggest thing is that I'm making sure to till the soil a bit. And as you can see, like, this is all the collards I've just planted that are like sprouting here. So I'm mostly just trying to, if I pull some of them up, it's fine. I'm just trying to make sure there's no mold that is trying to grow or anything, so that we can have non-moldy. Like, these, probably closer to what we need, but again, don't want to eat moldy stuff, so we're going to just peel out what we can. It's moldy, it's gotta go. For the most part. for the most part, these are looking nice and healthy, and like I'm not gonna have any mold issues. So I'm gonna plant the rest of these seeds. Not gonna do it super deep, but I am gonna like, plant the rest of them. And we'll see how this goes. That's okay. And I got all my seeds from Type Nursery. But they're the brand Botanical Interest. They are like highly recommended by a lot of people that I follow. And I believe my mom even says the same thing about them. So if you're looking for like quality seeds, definitely recommend. So that's what it's looking like. I will probably water those a little bit more, but not too much more. Sorry if you heard Laura shooting at the apartment. But yeah. So we'll see how that goes. See if because I just kind of sprinkled them, if basically not a little bit more helps. But we still are getting a lot of sunshine right now. It's still not going to get colder for a while for us, so probably need to like be like, can we like let each other breathe for a second? Like, can you chill? Yeah, so this is all collards at this point, which I am not mad about. But the good news is I'm going to be able to enjoy them. I should be able to enjoy them pretty soon if we keep the same energy. So put the rest of the collard seeds in there, just because if that one bunch is going to be like that, then like why not? But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I've moved some other stuff around. I'm going to show you that really quick. And that's pretty much it for this video. It's a lot of just clean up, doing all this stuff, watching me like freak out. I do have a Bonnie bell pepper behind us, and I need to put the tomato behind us, but you know, the chores are never ending. It's fine. So what we're looking at now, I don't know, remember, this is where the tomato was, the bok choy. There was something else that I had over here, the avocado, which is still in the pot in the middle of the 2 arrowhead vines. Basically, I cleaned all of that up. I repotted 2 of the lemon trees, so they're in separate pots that are bigger now, so we're going to see if that helps them grow. If so, then I know I just need to put them in bigger pots at this point. But I repotted those. The arrowhead vine is in a new pot. Its pot was way too small, and it is giving me new leaves, so I wanted to give it like more room to grow. So that's happening. I've moved some of the mint plants just like up. So the orange mint is now next to, which mint is that? That's the orange mint. Orange mint is on the left. The mojito mint is on the right. You can see Laura over here sniffing whatever she's sniffing. We did move the basil over some, and the lemon tree is in the middle of this basil pot. And the new tomato plant that was propagated, I promise you this is a propagation. It has flowers. I literally just like cut it and like stuck it in some water and was like, let it see some sunlight, and thought, you know what? If it grows, cool. If it doesn't, fine. There are more, because more I snapped off more over here, but they're like, I'm not going to plant those at this point, so I'm going to get rid of those. There's some cleanup that I have to do over this on my shelf. But yeah. So Laura says that is all for today, folks. She's going to continue to sniff this box and be outside and run around and play, and I'm going to continue to clean up a little bit more because I go on a trip tomorrow for my birthday, so I wanted to do all of this stuff so when I came back I could see how everything was doing. I'm only going to be gone for 2 days, but you know, you never know what could happen in those days.